Hey guys, Chris here. This is my top 10 theatrical movies I've seen this year. It's in no particular order, but I did see 58 movies in the theater this year, and I can thank MoviePass for this. Um, and the reason I say MoviePass and not Regal Cinemas is because if it hadn't been for MoviePass coming along and forcing theaters to adopt um, these monthly subscription services for people to be able to go see as many movies as they want. In the case of Regal Cinemas, for a single price, I probably would not have seen near as many movies this year as I did. So, you got to give credit where credit's due, and it's thanks to MoviePass and its introduction of their system that Regal Cinemas adopted this, and AMC did the same thing. Theirs is a little bit different than Regal's, but let's get into it. And these are my top 10 movies I saw in the theater and I'd go see again. Alright, we're going to start this one out with Alien Romulus. I appreciate Fede Alvarez bringing us this one after the last two Ridley Scott Alien movies with Prometheus and Alien Covenant. I enjoyed Prometheus, but Alien Covenant really kind of dropped the ball, whereas Alien Romulus really feels like it's a return to form for the series, with it being more towards the horror aspect that the original Alien movie had. And seeing this in the theater was well worth it. I'm looking forward to seeing what other Alien movie Fede Alvarez manages to do if he does another one. And we will wait and find out what is on the plans for the Alien series. Number 2 on this list is Bad Boys Ride or Die. I was surprised by this one, to be quite honest. I thought Will Smith had lost it after a lot of his debacles and stuff he's been involved with. Bad Boys Ride or Die actually was a really fun and enjoyable comedy action movie. Martin Lawrence is back for this one, and there are moments in this film that Martin Lawrence was just incredibly funny. This was well worth seeing on the big screen, and if you didn't get a chance to check it out, it is streaming on Netflix, I believe, so give it a chance. It's actually pretty decent, and I hope you enjoy it. We got Deadpool and Wolverine. The best way to put this is a fan service film. I went and saw it twice in the theater. I'd go see it in the theater again. I bought it digitally. It is an incredibly enjoyable movie for the fans. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in the background and everything that, unless you're a major fan of like the Marvel movies or the Marvel comics, you're probably going to miss a lot of what's going on. As far as the movie itself goes, it's pretty decent. It's enjoyable. I don't think if you don't fall within that fan service area, you're going to enjoy this movie as much as the fans did. And I appreciate for what it was. Denis Villeneuve's Dune Part 2. He always said that he wanted to make the movie off the book series, and I thought he did a wonderful job. There are some changes, but they work in what he did. And Dune Part 2 is a theatrical, big screen spectacle. The soundtrack is amazing. Visually, it's a stunning film. Everywhere across the board, it just works so well. And this is highly one of the best movies I saw this year in the theater. And honestly, I bought it digitally, but I'd be more than happy to go back and see this one in the theater again. I think it's just that good in the theater. Heretic. This was an interesting horror film, thriller, uh, with Hugh Grant in a role that I haven't seen him in before. Um, and honestly, he knocks it out of the park. He does a wonderful job in this role. If you didn't get a chance to see it, it's basically two Mormons go to talk to this guy about the religion and the things he kind of puts them through. Um, Makes you question a lot of things. Theatrically, it's interesting to sit there and watch in a theater, and I would go back and see this one in the theater. It is a really good movie, and that's why it's on my top 10 list of the year. Pixar is back with Inside Out 2. Um, these are the kind of movies that I really feel like Pixar does really well, is where they take a theme and they manage to run with it and make something incredible. Um, First Inside Out was a good movie. Inside Out 2 is a good movie, and it was well worth it in the theater. I do kind of wonder why we lost some of the voice actors we did from 1 to 2. But as far as going back and seeing a movie with Disney Pixar movie, Inside Out 2 is one of those that I wouldn't mind going back and seeing in the theater again, which is why this one is also on my list of best theatrical releases of the year. James McAvoy knocks it out of the park with whatever role he seems to be in. And speak no evil. Absolutely hate the trailer for this one. The movie is amazing. The trailer is pretty terrible only because of the fact it seemed to be playing in front of everything for 6 months. And it was always the same exact trailer, never changed up. The movie itself is really good. I would easily go back and see this one again in the theater. James McAvoy does a wonderful job. You don't know throughout most of the movie what's going on with him, if he's a little unhinged, or if he's being sincere about a lot of the things he's doing. It's just a great movie. And if you didn't get a chance to see this one, definitely check it out. The Fall Guy. This one was surprising. It's a really fun love letter to stuntmen, while at the same time being kind of a romantic action comedy. It was well worth it. Really entertaining. It was enjoyable. Ryan Gosling is pretty funny in the movie. You can also get to see Aaron Taylor Johnson, Emily Blunt, great actors and actresses. It was just a fun movie overall, and seeing it on the big screen makes it really enjoyable and entertaining to watch, and to see a lot of the stunts these guys did while filming it was just amazing to watch, and really does speak volumes to what they do. Transformers 1. It's been a long time since I've seen a Transformers movie that I really enjoyed like I do the original animated film. Michael Bay's Transformers movies. The first one was kind of cool to see live action in the theater and everything. But they went downhill pretty quick, and their grayscale color palette was kind of overused, which is why Transformers 1 is such a great movie. gives you the origin of Optimus Prime and Megatron with Orion Pax and D16. Fantastic movie, loved it. If you haven't had a chance to see it, check it out. It's well worth it. Venom: The Last Dance. If there's one thing I can say about Tom Hardy and his Venom movies, is the guy really loves the character of Venom, and he does such a wonderful job playing both Eddie Brock and Venom, and having these wonderful conversations between himself. It's such a fascinating film to sit there and watch, because at no point do you think, is this going to be entertaining or fun to watch, and yet somehow Venom: The Last Dance is probably one of the most entertaining movies about a man who is clearly schizophrenic and speaks to himself all the time, and seeing it on the big screen was so worth it. And I'll easily go back and see this one again on the big screen. So that was my top 10 list for best theatrical releases. And my entire list was based on movies that I would go see in the theater again. That's why it's not in any particular order. It is in alphabetical order, though. But I think these are all movies that were well enjoyable in the theater, and I would easily see them again. I do have a couple of honorable mentions. In Hundreds of Beavers, which is a very entertaining slapstick silent movie. It's done in the old style of silent movies, and it's got the slapstick of Three Stooges. Incredibly funny. The other one is Boy Kills World with Bill Skarsgård in the main role, and it's kind of an interesting action movie in the sense that he can't actually speak, but his narration is done based off the voice of a video game he'd seen, and the voice was done by H. John Benjamin. So it's really kind of funny to listen to as you're sitting there watching this movie. And that one was a good one in the theater. It's just not quite as good as some of the other ones I'd seen this year. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you have some movies you saw in the theater, maybe they were limited release, other people didn't get to see them, they were only playing at like the small independent theaters, leave a like, comment down below. Let me know which movies you found most entertaining to watch in the theater, and which ones you think would be worthwhile seeing on the big screen. And I will catch you in the next one.